Oh my god, this is something you don't want to miss. Did Carl, the head of growth for Tamadoge, just shot himself in the foot by saying Big Eyes is a scam when they're doing the exact same thing? I'll point out the red flags Carl found on Big Eyes and see if those same red flags can also be found on Tamadoge. What can this potentially mean for Tamadoge projects, future, and its holders? Well, I'll let Tamadoge answer that question here in this video. What's up guys, Crypto Ahoy here with another Tamadoge update. Make sure you like, subscribe if you haven't yet already, and hit the bell so you never miss another video. None of this is financial advice of course, always do your own research and only invest what you can afford to lose. Let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Alright, where to begin? Let me just start off by saying I personally don't believe that Tamadoge is a scam, but there's a huge but. I do believe Tamadoge is just going to be another pump and dump project. But I just find it funny when one project calls another project a scam when they're doing the exact same thing, literally. Yesterday, Carl posted this video on YouTube that is titled Big Eyes is Tamadoge Scam, okay? If you guys also watch my other video, I kind of compared the both, how it looked like either Big Eyes was copying off Tamadoge or if the same developers are, working on both projects, because they're very, very similar. And here, he even confirms that. He even says that they're very, very similar, but that Big Eyes is a scam and Tamadoge is not a scam. And if you have been watching my videos, then you know that I'm all about digging deep and try to find any information I can and just share with you guys. So that at the end of the day, you guys can choose what to do with it. His video is a little bit long. It's like nearly 20 minutes. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. You guys can search for it on YouTube, but I'm just gonna highlight the main points, okay? So the first thing he mentioned here is that Big Eyes has a very, very good website. Like they do have a good website. It's very clean. It's a little, I would say a little complicated at first because when you scroll, you're not really scrolling down a page, but like this type of parallax type of thing, if you notice, it's just like inside this rectangle, whatever you scroll, that's what, or you're sliding or swiping if you're on your phone, that's really what's moving until you get to the end. Then you go to the bottom of the page. So it's a little bit like weird, I guess, but that's just, the type of design that they decided to go with. And the theme is very, very catchy. I'm not going to lie, it's very catchy. They did a lot of good work on the website itself. And that's one thing that Carl also points out and kind of gives them props or, for it, because they actually done a good job on the website. It doesn't look crappy. So what did he decide to do? Okay, he decided to also go on their tweet, okay, to kind of reply to other people that were looking into Big Eyes coin and just type like you see here that he typed on Twitter. It's a scam. They copied Tamadoge coin, which is legit. And he does that for like a lot of other people, okay? And I mean, that's fine. You can do what you want. It's cool. But it's just funny how when other people does it to Tamadoge, it just seems a little bit like not right. But when, he does it to other tokens, it's totally fine. Now let's look at red flag number 1.
Money back. Very, very lucky. But basically what happened was they wanted to raise, and this sounds like Tamadoge, right? They wanted to raise 2 million and they ended up raising like 50. And they launched the coin and they went, oh my gosh, we've got so much money. We actually need to now do something with this money. So,
okay, guys. So just look at here. He's kind of doing this comparison with Electroneum, with Tamadoge. And it's very interesting how he starts saying that, it's very similar to Tamadoge. They wanted to raise 2 million and they had a minimum they needed to buy, which was like 50 or something like that. But anyways, okay, look at this. This was back in like 2017, 2018. Look at this graph, okay? Look at this, all right? There's little bumps here along the way, okay? That kind of goes up, but the grand majority of it is a clear pump and dump, okay? Like, you don't even need to be that much knowledgeable about charts and cryptocurrency or stocks. You could just tell right off the bat that this was just a very, very clear pump and dump. And where he kind of shot himself in the foot is right in the beginning. If you guys notice, he mentioned that it was very similar to Tamadoge when they, trying to raise like 2 million in the beginning. And let me play that again in case you didn't catch it.
Money back. Very, very lucky. But basically what happened was they wanted to raise, and this sounds like Tamadoge, right? They wanted to raise 2 million.
And this is what I mean, that I don't believe, in my opinion, Tamadoge is a scam. But of course, there's always that chance, okay? You can never just leave it to the side. You always have to like take that into account. But the point is that this graph that you're looking at here, this is my prediction with Tamadoge. And I believe, okay, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope that Tamadoge does great and advances, you know, and it really gives a lot of value to their investors. But unfortunately, with all the stuff that I've been finding and that you'll see here in this video, okay, for me, it's looking more like this graph that you're seeing here is going to be like a similar pattern, you know, that we're going to see with Tamadoge. And like I said, by using this example, comparing Electroneum with Tamadoge, he kind of, you know, shot himself in the foot with this. Now, let's go for red flag number 2. In this clip, he's going to look into the Etherscan from Big Eyes, and he's going to find 0 ETH.
Look, there is a 1% chance it would do something. Let's have a look at the contract. 0. Okay, the contract has 0 ETH in it. And everything being sent is not in the wallet. Oh, wow. So beforehand, when I was like, why are you even entertaining this idea? There was no contract on this, right? We just have the contract in. There is no balance in there. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Guys, just do that. Just do that. Like.
Okay, so you guys see here that he compared with Big Eyes and there was just 0 ETH. Okay, now what would happen if I were to apply the same thing to Tamadoge? Let's take a look. First, let's look at Big Eyes. This is what he was looking at, okay? So he pretty much copied here the contract, and it says here Ether value is 0. And here's the token tracker, okay? You can click on it, and then we can actually go to the page and see here that they only have 1 holder and 2 transfers, okay? Why? Because they're still in this like ICO type of phase, pre-sale. They haven't really gone quote unquote public, I guess, where, you know, people can actually go to the exchanges like Uniswap and stuff like that to actually get the token. It's not out there yet. So we don't really know that much information. We only have these transactions right here. And there's like so many of them, okay? You will have to like kind of, and this is just like the latest, okay? Because it keeps updating. But yeah, it will take a while. But the point is this. But he just compared what he saw up front, which is, yes, correct. There's 0 ETH, 0 value, and this is what it is. Now, if I were to do that with Tamadoge, okay, this is Tamadoge. It says here's Tamadoge, and this is their contract address. If you guys want to compare and check it out, you guys can pause this video and look at this contract address and compare it with Tamadoge, which is right here, okay? So you guys can pause it and just compare the numbers if you guys want to do that. But this is pretty much it, okay? And what do we see here? We see the same thing. We see balance for ETH is 0. Ether value is also 0. So, you know, and if we go to Tamadoge, we're also going to see the same thing. They only have 1 holder and 6 transfers. When we go to Big Eyes, and if I were to apply the same thing, they have also 1 holder and 2 transfers. Just 4 transfers less that Big Eyes has compared to Tamadoge, like we see here, but everything is pretty much the same, okay? And we don't even need to go to be like that nitpicky because obviously Big Eyes has a lot more token supply, okay? Compared to Tamadoge. But the point is that they still have just 1 holder and very similar amount of transfers. And when we go check here to look at their Ether value, it's also 0 and Tamadoge is also 0. But there's more. It gets even more interesting. Let's go for red flag number 3, and this is a big one. In this part of the clip, you're gonna have to pay a little bit more attention because he kind of speaks a little bit fast. So I'm gonna leave like the subtitles there so you guys can kind of follow along, okay? Because he mentions that the counter for Big Eyes is fake. So let's watch.
To try and make it different, but they literally copied almost word for word like the how to buy. I don't really want to click link. Let's click buy now. Okay, let's click it and see what happens. That's a fake counter.
Okay, did you guys catch that? I even paused it and it even says so right here. That's a fake counter.
Really want to click link. Let's click buy now. Okay, let's click it and see what happens. That's a fake counter.
I wanted to replay this again just to make sure that you guys caught this, okay? That he says that it's a fake counter. And because he was kind of blocking it at first, so now you could see it right here. And if we go to Big Eyes, okay, this is the counter, and it says this much is remaining before the prices, pretty much increases. Very similar to Tamadoge, how they have it. Okay, so my question is the following: if he's saying that this is a fake counter, that this can be made up, pretty much, it could be manipulated, then and really there's no way to kind of verify this because we can't really track what's really going on. That's the same thing as we cannot track what's going on with Tamadoge. Okay, like we see here, Tamadoge, we can't track what's really going on. We don't have these numbers, and the same thing with Big Eyes. So again, my question is, if this is fake, if this right here is fake, what does this mean to this number from Tamadoge? Is this also fake? Is this also manipulated? Because again, both of the two metrics that he's applying, that he's trying to measure, okay, for Big Eyes, can also be said about Tamadoge. And in spite of watching all of this, you're still not surprised. You're like, man, it doesn't really bother me. Then let's go to red flag number 4. You might say, well, they're KYC'd verified, therefore I shouldn't be concerned or worried. Well, I would think twice. Let's see what he has to say.
However, KYC verified, yeah, you can be KYC verified. It doesn't mean you're fully doxed. So I'm fully doxed. Wicked, send flowers to my house, people. Awesome. And, the person that threatened my mum as well, send her flowers. Dad lost both his legs. Anyway. So, and CoinSniper, I could be not fully doxed, but I can just have my passport in and say I'm KYC. Now, if you get scammed and you go to CoinSniper and say, hey, they're KYC, can I have his details? CoinSniper say no because it is personal information. So, yeah, but people do like to think that makes a difference.
Okay, so there you go, guys. KYC really doesn't really mean much. Is it worthless? It's up for debate. Pretty much what he said is this, okay? KYC is not the same as being doxxed. Why? Because they're doxxed with the CoinSniper because I have their information, their personal information, but not with the rest of the investors, not with the rest of the public. And if you were to, like he said, if you were to get scammed, if you were to kind of complain, well, they can't do anything because they're still not going to share the information with you as a retailer, investor, or whoever you may be in the public. So there you go. And you don't have to take my word for it, okay? You can take his word for it. Everything that I'm doing here in this video is not really like my words. I'm using his words. But if you're still like, I don't really care, it doesn't bother me, it doesn't bring any concerns or anything like that, because when I Google, I look at all these news outlets and they speak highly good about, Big Eyes and all these projects. So I shouldn't be worried because they're reputable sources. Well, I really didn't want to bust your bubble, but let's go to red flag number 5.
So here's analytics. Loads of people can get on this. There is loads of traffic that comes from this. Analytics do let almost anybody, if you pay, get on the website. They're a paid website. People do read it, which is why you need to, they do put disclaimers in here. Do your own research.
Okay, guys, I hope you guys caught that. So you see here Analytics Insight, and what is it talking about? It's talking about pretty much how Big Eyes is pretty much raised 1 million in 1 week, and it's comparing it with Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. And again, you don't need to take my word for it, just take it directly from Tamadoge team. He just said that these news outlets, places like Analytics Insight, people can pay and have, them mention, have an article about them there. And if we go to their Tamadoge website, we see that they also use the same news outlets. And here's Analytics Insight, among so many others. But wait, there's still one more thing. Let's go to red flag number 6. On this clip, he kind of schemes through the Big Eyes audit to see how it is. And I'm going to compare it after how this is very similar to Tamadoge.
Look at this, audit findings. No findings were identified. So they got an audit, wicked. They got an audit. And they didn't find anything at all. At all. As in a bad way. They didn't find anything. Notes, ready? It says pass. Look at this. Look, if you look at just the right, because you're being a smart pass, pass, pass. Look at the left. NA, 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 NA. Nope. Nope. I don't know why I've spent so long on this. It's just annoying me looking at it, honestly.
Okay. One thing I wanted to point out that he kind of putting them down on their audit. But let me just kind of go back here real quick on some similarities, okay? Okay, so here is the inheritance chart, okay? We kind of see here a little bit what he's kind of showing. And let's go to Tamadoge. Look, it's very similar type of graph looking. So you guys can see here, okay? And from Big Eyes, and if I were to compare it with the one from Tamadoge, okay? From their solid proof audit, look, it's very, very similar. It's pretty much very similar to the same thing as we see there. So what's the difference? Why is it that Big Eyes audit is not valid, but Tamadoge audit is valid? And that's pretty much what this video boils down to, okay? What makes their project valid and not the other projects not valid? What makes them different compared to others' previous project and current projects? And also just to clarify, okay, I am not defending Big Eyes at all. I'm just pointing out that if you're gonna use the same ruler, you gotta use it on both. But going back to the validity and the credibility of both, or of any token, is what makes their counter valid and Big Eyes counter not valid when both information cannot be seen on Etherscan? How can we really know this is the true amount raised? For both, for Big Eyes and for Tamadoge. And I'm just going to end this by saying whatever direction, whatever option you decide to do to invest, whether that's Tamadoge, Big Eyes, any type of other token, projects, coins, it doesn't matter. It could be Bitcoin, it could be Ethereum, whatever you do, always make sure that you're able to afford a loss. That way, if you win, awesome. And if you lose, well, you won't be affected. If you find this video to be helpful and informative, like, subscribe if you haven't done so, and hit the bell so you never miss another video. Thank you so much for watching, for showing me a lot of support, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.